Hi, welcome back to Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking, the water cooler episode, aka the 10-ish minute news and culture show where we talk about everything that happened. Oh, did you hear that? My voice was cracking. Tells you about my weekend. The 10-ish minute news and culture show where we talk about everything that happened in the past 24 hours so that you're a little bit smarter about a lot of things. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend too. It is officially Tuesday, April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day, you bunch of fools. Please remember to stay on your toes today. We don't do gaslighting over here on this podcast. So, quick thing, we didn't do a show on Friday because there were literally like 4 news things that came out. And I think we need to discuss a way for you and I to do stuff like this daily where I can still tell you about the news, but I'm not giving you a 2-minute episode because only 4 things happened. You know, like we need to find a way that's going to be beneficial. Unless you want to see a 4-minute episode. That's up to you. Let me know. Either way. But what I have for you today is the stuff that happened on Friday mixed with the stuff that happened on Monday, just so that you know everything that happened, even if it is a few days late. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So we learned on Friday that the Trump administration pulled research funding for research to protect pregnant women from domestic violence, citing the research as a DEI initiative. Women of all races, ethnicities, religions, sexualities, the Trump administration is using DEI to remove protections from you. Just keep that in mind when Democrats are talking about the fact that solidarity needs to happen for all people, because you are not immune from the cruelty, because the cruelty is the point. If you are not a straight, white, Christian male in the United States, you are part of the DEI culture. Megan Fox gave birth to her and Machine Gun Kelly's first kid together, a daughter, which is Megan's 4th kid. The other 3 are with her first husband, Brian Austin Green. And then this is Machine Gun Kelly's 2nd kid. Reminder, Megan Fox and Machine Gun Kelly are not together currently, and they haven't announced the name of the kid yet, though I truly hope it's something regular, like I'm thinking like Madison or Sarah, right? Because it would almost make it weirder if they came out with a regular name because they're so weird themselves. Like if they named their kid like Hemorrhage or something, you know, that would be normal. Give me an Aaron. Tanner Adell, one of the Black country artists that Beyonce featured on her Cowboy Carter album, has released her new single, Going Blonde.
I'm made up is perfect. Look up to person to fall in her arms in my mind.
Now, this is real country, according to y'all, and you know who the y'all are here, right? Like, we're very aware of the group of people who don't believe that Beyonce's Cowboy Carter was country. Anyway, it's going to be very telling to see if this song does the rounds at all, because, you know, they really pushed Beyonce out of this genre, and Tanner is really talented. If she gets pushed out too for real country, we see what the issue is. Utah officially became the first state to ban fluoride in public drinking water, despite pushback from dentists who say this move will lead to medical problems. Utah's really saying here, look, it is a prime opportunity to push veneers out here. And if you listen to me and live in Utah, I beg you to buy some toothpaste with the fluoride in it, because you want to take care of yourself and keep your teeth. So apparently Elon Musk bought Twitter from himself, saying that his AI company, which is called XAI, has apparently bought Twitter, or X, I guess technically. Like, my only message to Elon Musk is, dude, get a fucking life. I beg you. Your Tesla stock is tanking. Maybe focus on that instead of using your companies to buy other companies. France's far-right political leader, Marine Le Pen, has been found guilty of embezzling European Union funds. A French judge ruled that she is now, effective immediately, barred from seeking public office in France for 5 years. She will also be sentenced to 4 years in prison and will receive a fine of 100,000 euros. I would like to point out that once again, it is a far-right politician, not a liberal or immigrant, who is being caught for crimes. Are we on the same page here? Corruption seems to be coming within a certain segment of the population globally, even though that certain segment is telling you that it is people who are liberal or othered. Very curious how that works. YouTube is officially worth $550 billion, making it what analysts call the new king of all media, possibly overtaking Disney. And yet, I still have not monetized on the platform. We need to continue to push to get me to 1,000 subscribers, and then we can start monetizing me and I can do things more full time. Don't we love that idea? I love that idea. I love that for me and I love that for you. New England Patriots quarterback Joshua Dobbs is now engaged to his fiancée Jocelyn Lara, who he's been dating since the summer of 2021. And I looked into her because I was like, you know, he's been out of college for a little bit. He's like 30. So he hasn't always been like a collegiate athlete moving directly into the NFL. So who is she? Because they were dating after he was in the NFL, and she's just a regular girl. And I love that. Honestly, I love that she's just a regular person. Miley Cyrus has released the title track off her new album, Something Beautiful.
Tell me something beautiful tonight.
Now, that's the music I've been wanting to hear from Miley. The governor of Missouri just signed a law that ends the city of St. Louis's ability to run its own police department. The city's police are now controlled by the government of the state of Missouri, and there's no way that this goes poorly, right? Retired NFL star and former Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman says his house was robbed at gunpoint last night while his family was home. He tweeted, quote, "House being robbed at gunpoint with my family, and it isn't what anyone wants for a birthday gift. Scary situation that my wife handled masterfully and kept my kids safe. If anyone has any info that can help me find these people, please reach out. Reach out if you have any info." Okay, this one's crazy, you guys. On Trans Day of Visibility, today when I'm recording this, I actually have the craziest story of a cisgender woman getting fired from her job at Walmart. I'm just going to read it directly because it's pretty, aggressively crazy. It is headlined, "Tall Cisgender Woman Fired from Walmart After Customer Accused Her of Being Trans." Danny Davis, who is a 6 4" tall cisgender woman, was fired from a Walmart in Florida, where she was employed for 7 years after a male customer followed her into the store's restroom and berated her, thinking that she was trans. In a lengthy Facebook post detailing the incident, Davis said Walmart informed her that she was fired because she was a security risk. Quote, "So a bit of background for those who've never met me. I am a tall biological woman. I was born a female and I identify as a woman," explained Davis in the Facebook post, asking for guidance as she felt completely lost. Davis, who is just shy of 6'4", had worked full-time at Walmart in addition to being part-time seasonal tax preparer at H&R Block and certified notary public. The scary confrontation with the presumptuous customer happened on March 14th when Davis went to use the bathroom around 8 p.m. Once she was in the stall, Davis heard a man yelling inside the restroom. "It scared me," she recalled. The man yelled transphobic slurs and threatened to, quote, "beat all those pussies," and, quote, "protect his wife/girlfriend from them." Davis also said she heard the man's girlfriend from outside the restroom yelling, quote, "Babe, get out. Baby, you gotta get out of here. You're gonna get in trouble." The couple eventually left, and Davis tentatively emerged from the restroom, fearful for her safety, and managed to avoid conflict with the couple for the rest of her evening shift. Less than a week later, she was fired. Quote, "The reason they gave for my termination was that I didn't inform a salaried member of management of the incident and that doing so posed a security risk." She explained that while she did inform her supervisor immediately, they were not a salaried management member. Therefore, the incident was deemed a security risk. She said, quote, I don't understand. I was the one followed into the bathroom and I was the one who felt threatened and unsafe. So I get fired for it? Does this make sense to anyone?" People were rightly upset, pissed online, reading through this, reading Walmart to absolute filth. And in an update, Davis said that she requested an open door termination for a chance to appeal, but was ultimately informed by the store's locations lead that management won't allow the decision to be reversed. She said, quote, "I also tried to report the incident itself to the Walmart ethics line, but they didn't listen and hung up on me." She said she filed for unemployment and planned to meet with lawyers. Good. I hope she does. I just think the whole thing is horrible. And when people are telling you now that protecting trans women is actually protecting all women, this is what they're saying. Because this woman, biological woman, was harassed because a guy thought that she was trans. So now she just has to live her life in fear of being harassed because that has become normalized in the United States. And finally, at this very moment of my recording, Senator Cory Booker, a Democrat from New Jersey, has taken the Senate floor to do a standing filibuster, where he will speak for as long as physically possible in order to disrupt the normal order of the Senate to lift the voices of Americans who are being harmed and not being heard in this moment of crisis of Trump and Elon Musk completely disregarding the rule of law, he said. So we will start tomorrow's episode with a quick update to show how long he actually filibustered for. Connecticut Democratic Senator Chris Murphy did it previously for 15 hours. So we'll see if Cory Booker can outlast that. And that's it. That's all the news from literally Friday to today. Do you see what I mean by saying, if I didn't read that very long story, sometimes there's just not news for the day. But now at least you know everything, literally everything that went on. I skipped zero. But I will see you tomorrow because news is always happening, big or small. If you cannot wait until then, you can find me on social media. I am on TikTok and YouTube at I've Been Traveling. I am on Instagram and Threads at Ben Keenan. I'm always here on the podcast at Ben Keenan Just Can't Stop Talking on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. So until tomorrow, bye.